here, Eric. As of this video's publication, it is January 2025. Any New Year's resolutions?
Yes. I plan to end each day crying about all the unfinished tasks I have, doom scrolling on social media, and drinking beer until I fall asleep. How about you?
Yeah, same.
Now, if you know anything about Janel, you will know that what we said in the opening skit is absolutely not true. Janel will wake up before all of us to run 20 miles and ski and hike before it's 6 a.m. But in today's Uncapped Notes episode, we want to talk about how founders should think about better prioritization by introducing a classic framework called the Eisenhower Matrix.
We found a perfect illustration of the Eisenhower Matrix, courtesy of Asana. On the x-axis, you will see urgent and not urgent. And on the y-axis, you will see important and not important. The basic idea for this matrix is that all of your work can likely fall into one of these four quadrants.
Yeah, that's right. So let's talk through this. Let's start with the not urgent, not important quadrant. For me, an example like this could be someone who is trying to cold outreach to you via email on some product that you absolutely do not need. It's spam. I wouldn't even bother responding to this person and would just delete the message because ultimately it's a distraction.
Looking at the not important and urgent category, maybe you are a CEO of a startup and a customer is pinging you about a simple customer service question. Obviously, it is important to serve that customer, but depending on the question, it could be better for you to delegate that response to someone else on the team rather than take the time to handle it yourself. That assumes you have someone to delegate to, of course.
The urgent and important quadrant is probably the most troublesome, where founders feel like there is a fire happening. This could be something like a server going down and you have to drop everything to handle this issue. It happens. But my guess is that there were ways to probably prevent issues like this, which we'll talk about later.
And finally, the most important quadrant, which is not urgent and important. These are activities you should invest in to gain more leverage in your work. An example, if you are sending the same client email over and over again, turn that into a template. Or if there's a critical task that you oversee, which you can playbook and then train others to do, that is another example of great leverage.
Janelle, why do you think that the not urgent and important quadrant is the most important quadrant for founders to spend their time?
Think of it like preventative medicine. You are investing in activities that will make your work scale better and also make your company scale better. Let's go back to that urgent and important example of the server failing. Maybe if you had spent some time setting up server monitoring tools, a metrics dashboard, and an escalation strategy for your engineers to notice when the server was about to fail, that could have prevented that disaster from happening in the first place.
Founders, the purpose of the Eisenhower Matrix is that this is a tool for prioritization. In this new year for 2025, it might be a good practice to take inventory of how you're spending your time this week, this month, this quarter, and put each activity into a quadrant.
After you do this exercise, see what can be done to prioritize more of your time in the not urgent and important quadrant. If you can spend more time there, you will likely find yourself dealing with fewer fires and that your work environment will feel calmer overall.
What we found, especially with newer founders, is that they are spending a lot of time on urgent and important category work. It feels like everything is on fire. For example, your inbox is a nightmare and all sorts of people are asking you to respond urgently to get unblocked. So what do you do in this scenario?
Yeah, again, you need to find a way to evolve yourself into a not urgent and important category. The email inbox disaster scenario above is really relatable. Eric, didn't you find a way to overcome this in the last year?
Yeah, so I get about 300 emails a day, but in order to build space for me to move into that not urgent and important category, I had to hire a virtual assistant to actually control my inbox. This person will triage my emails, removing especially the not important, not urgent stuff, and help me identify and prioritize the emails that actually matter to me. This has made a huge difference in my life. And in addition to that, my VA handles all of my scheduling now as well, my travel scheduling, which opens up a lot of space.
Getting some help is a great way to build the space to invest in that not urgent and important quadrant. Now, we understand that not everyone has the resources for an assistant, but you might be surprised by how affordable great virtual assistants can be, especially when you consider the time you'll get back.
I am so glad that we were able to introduce the Eisenhower Matrix to founders in this episode. But Janel, there is an urgent and important task that everyone needs to do right now.
Yes, that's right. Drop everything you are doing and like and subscribe to Uncapped Notes. Thanks, and see you in the next episode.